Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to my vBrownbag talk. My name is Tim Hynes. I'm a systems engineer, and my talk is about PowerCLI and where to start if you're a beginner. So this is me. I'm a vExpert, Cisco champion. I'm a systems engineer, work for a systems integrator, and I've got some VCPs and MCSA and things like that. So why should we use automation? I think automation's become quite a hot topic in our industry, and I think the reasons why we want to use it, we want to do things in a repeatable, more efficient way. I'm going to move on to the next slide because that's where this details some of the more of the reasons why we should be doing this. So it makes us quicker, it makes us more consistent in what we're doing. We repeat a task and we do the same thing every time. We keep up with the business demand. Businesses are increasingly reliant on us to deliver things in a quick and efficient way. We're having to do more with less nowadays, so this kind of approach to system management makes it much more scalable, makes life a lot easier. It breaks down silos. When we use scripting languages like PowerShell, then we can write scripts which integrate with a lot of different systems. That helps us to work with teams like traditionally disparate teams like storage, network, computing teams, so that we can start to build communication between those teams and all realize the benefits that automation can bring us. As it removes human error, so people are prone to making mistakes when they do manual tasks. So when we script something, we know that it's going to be done in the same way all the time, and it gives us more control over our infrastructure. So why PowerShell or PowerCLI? I've picked up PowerShell and PowerCLI about 2 or 3 years ago. It's now across all platforms, which is really good. We've had some releases this week around PowerCLI on different platforms. We've got PowerShell's now available on OS X and Linux and Windows, so we can run it from anywhere. It's simple to pick up, it's very easy to get started, and it's a very deep topic as well, so there's a lot to master, a lot to learn, so it'll keep your interest. There are lots of plugins for it, which can plug into different types of technology, which we'll go on a later slide. Massive community of users online, and events like VMworld, where you can meet up with fellow scripters and talk about ways of doing things, methodologies, and learn new things. And you can integrate changes into multiple platforms with one script, which gives you a lot of advantages when you're trying to look after the full stack. So these are some of the vendors which have got PowerShell plugins, so literally you can work with any of these technologies. It makes it very easy to make a change in one area and push that into other areas and chain that together to help you to be efficient in what you're doing. So where do we get started? So use what you've already got. So we've all got PowerShell on Windows servers and things like that, so you can get started today. You can just jump onto a Windows server, install PowerCLI, and you can start connecting to your vSphere environment. You don't need any special software or any special tools to do that. It's all there. Start small, so it can look very daunting when you look at a script which is hundreds of lines and it all seems very confusing. But a script can be just a one-liner basically. It could be 1 or 2 lines, and you can build up from there. And you can even with a small script like that, you can start to see the value that brings to your business and the tasks that you do on a day-to-day basis. Building a development environment can be very useful if you're not keen to start playing with a live environment. That can get you the confidence up that your scripts are working before you go let yourself loose on a live environment that your customers or your business are relying on. Join communities. So there are some great communities online. The VMware communities forums are very good. There's the VMware Code Slack channel. All sorts of communities around to start sharing ideas with people, asking for help, and generally everyone's really happy to help you when you need it. Steal. So don't be afraid to steal people's scripts from online. Credit them where you need to, but you can generally find, if you've got a task that you want to carry out, chances are someone's already done it, so you'll probably find that code online. You can take it, you can modify it slightly, and it'll probably help you save you hours or days of coding to try and figure out how to do something. Don't change anything in production until you know what you're doing. This is quite important because if you decide that you're going to start scripting and you change something and break something, then you're probably not going to have a good experience. And expect to fail often. Part of coding, part of development is trial and error a lot of the time, and you will fail, but when you get something completed and you're able to get it working, it's a very rewarding experience. So this is just some examples of some of the types of commands that we can use with PowerCLI. So here we've got just the get VM command, which you'd run against your vCenter, and it'll just give you a list of virtual machines, and that's literally, there's nothing to it. It tells you, it's very obvious from the command structure what it's doing, and the output's very readable and very manageable. So we can also use wildcard searches with this. So here we've searched based on the exe tag, so we can see servers which just match that string. Here we're using the pipe command to get the data stores that are associated with that particular virtual machine. So we can use the information that we're gathering from one command to drive output for something else related to that server or the results. Here we're getting a list of the hosts that that data store has got, so we're piping it again, and we're selecting a specific field, so we can just get specific bits of information about that environment out, and use that for other things. So this is great if you're trying to do reporting and things like that, or figure out how objects are related to one another. And then here we can store it that in a variable so that we can use it again. So we take that variable here and we iterate through all of those hosts and we run a command on them. So where can you get more information about PowerCLI and getting started? So as we said, socialize online, Stack Overflow, VMware communities, Twitter. There are lots of meetups out there. Learn by doing. So there's some great resources online where you can get involved and start playing, get a development environment at no cost, and you're not afraid to break it. Worst thing that happens if you break it is you just close your browser and start again. Vendor documentation. So the vendors generally have some good documentation available. It's like particularly the VMware PowerCLI stuff is very strong. So that's a good resource to get some information about this. There are some great blogs out there. I've listed some here, but they're just a few amongst many great blogs out there which will help you with PowerCLI. These are examples of some great books which you should check out if you're interested in learning PowerShell or PowerCLI. They're available everywhere, basically. And there are some other sessions on at VMworld. 2 of these are already available on YouTube from the Las Vegas conference, and I'm imagining the 3rd one will be available shortly after this conference as well. Thanks for listening. That's all. Cheers.